Well, I guess I'm a pumpkin. Well, welcome back everyone. Welcome back to the pumpkin tutorial. Today we're going to be carving a pumpkin. Uh, we'll get right to it. Just let me see how I can fix this.
He did the mash. He did the monster mash. The monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. He did the mash.
It's the great pumpkin! He's rising up out of the pumpkin patch!
Okay, welcome back to our pumpkin in Blender. Last time we modeled and did some light shading on our pumpkin, and today we are going to carve it. So let's dive right in. So there are many different ways to carve a pumpkin with Blender. Let's go with the first method, which is using the knife tool, which, funny enough, you use a knife to carve a pumpkin. Well, we're going to actually use the knife tool to show you how to carve this pumpkin in Blender. I'm going to go ahead first from the get-go. I'm going to go to the collection tab up here in the outliner. I'm just going to double click on this and make this called pumpkin. This is really important for when we start building out our scene and have lots and lots of objects. So we have this folder that's just designed just for our pumpkin. Okay, so let's start carving this pumpkin. First one is with the knife tool. And you're probably thinking, the knife tool, that's how you carve pumpkins normally. Oh, you're absolutely right. Well, there's actually a knife tool in Blender that we can use to carve out some shapes into our pumpkin. So let's go ahead and hop into edit mode to access the knife tool. You hit tab to go into edit mode. You can also go from object mode to edit mode up here. But let's go, tab. That's a good one. So on the left hand side here, where we have all these tools, there's the knife tool, and the knife tool is the main one we're going to be using to cut out some shapes. So let's click on it, and then let's go to the front-facing view. This will give us a great view of our pumpkin, so we can start thinking about how we want to draw some shapes. To start us off, let's start drawing out the eyes. So to use the knife tool, all you gotta do is click on the mesh, boop, and then it creates these little lines. And then I'm just gonna carve out an eye just by clicking. And you notice how when you click the knife tool, it makes a bunch of these dots appear. Each one of those dots is a vertex, and those vertexes are the dots that you can use to control objects. And once we're done, you're probably wondering, like, you might accidentally click too many times. All you gotta do is hit, when you click all the, when you add all the geometry you want, like we're gonna cut out this eye here, all you have to do is hit enter, and it will confirm it. And then what we can do is we can go into the select circle. So if we go to the top left here, the select circle add-on, there's also select box. Select box is like, the marquee select. We can use that to select faces. We're going to try to use it with a select circle because that's a little bit faster. Okay, so I'm going to click on the faces and hold shift, and then hold shift every single time I'm clicking on stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and that looks good. So let's delete those faces. And bam, we have an eye. So you're probably getting the sense, we're going to do the same thing for this eye, and then we're going to do the same thing for the mouth. So let's dive in and do it. Okay, so that's the nose right there. So that means the other eye should be approximately right here. Just kind of getting that eye. And hit enter to confirm my selection. I'm going to go ahead and hide that. Let's keep that right there. That's good. And then we're going to go to my select circle, and then let's kind of draw on and select all these faces. So there's some ones hiding right here. We'll grab those too. No escape faces. Oh, and then we hit delete. Delete faces, And then bam, we have our little eyes for the pumpkin. We do the same thing for the nose. Easy, easy stuff. We just gotta, make a little nose.
And then hit enter, and then we do the select circle thing again. Yeah, delete those faces. And then now we have ourselves a nose.
Okay, so I brought in a reference image to help me kind of make the mouth here. You bring in an image into Blender, it's called an empty. It won't show up in renders, it will just show up as an image. It's great for references. All you gotta do is drag in any image into the 3D workspace and it will automatically pop up as an image. This will help me as I'm carving my pumpkin kind of be thinking about, what I want this pumpkin to look like. So I'm just going to kind of put this right here. I'm going to hop into edit mode and then let's start carving out the mouth. We'll bring up the knife tool again.
Mouth kind of starts on this corner. So let's keep on here. Keep on. It just kind of takes a little bit of time, But then we get something we like. Right here is where the tooth comes in. So we're just kind of like, maybe tooth needs to be a little bigger, Big tooth. And you can actually click in between the faces. You actually don't need to click right on a vertex like that. Let's just drag that. And then maybe a little bit more. Maybe actually let's add a tooth here. No, let's keep going. I like where this is going. So I'm going to grab another tooth here. Make a kind of slightly angled tooth. Just kind of following my reference here. And then I'm going to kind of start to bring the smile up. And then that's really the corner of it. And then we're going to start to bring the smile down. I'm just trying to get this smile to look interesting here. So I'm going to bring a tooth in right here. Let's just kind of hold shift to kind of zoom around. Bring in a tooth. And then let's keep this train going. Bring in another tooth. And then let's bring it, let's do a slight slope. So.
Okay, then we hit enter. And bam, we got ourselves a mouth. So now let's delete those faces as per usual. And this is where it kind of, remember we're using the select circle to kind of zoom in. Hold down shift.
And select those faces. I'm going to go ahead and delete them. Yeah, nice.
Okay, that's a good smile. Let's hit delete faces and bam, just like that, we got ourselves a jack-o'-lantern. I'm gonna go ahead and delete my reference image. It did me well, but I don't need it anymore. So now, like, you're probably looking at this, you're like, wow, this pumpkin is paper thin. You're absolutely right. Let's give it some thickness. So to give it some thickness, all we have to do is make sure we are in face select mode. We select all of the faces by hitting A, and we are going to extrude the faces along normals. And then we just kind of move the mouse up like that. And we're going to kind of give our pumpkin some thickness. Give it some love. Just like that, we have some thickness inside of our pumpkin. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. That looks nice. You're seeing some funky edge data here. We can fix that by, if we select these edges, if we go just into our box select, let's just select these edges, shift select these edges. It's because they're too sharp and the normals are having trouble calculating. The normals are just like what make the surface show up a certain way.
So let's just kind of, don't mean to grab you, mister. I'll grab these. Nice. Let's just try. Did that fix anything? Kinda did. Yeah, it did. Okay, so let's just continue selecting all these edges. Let's select all these edges. And then we just keep on. Let's go grab the mouth. You're probably wondering, this is so many edges to select. And like, yeah, you're right. But you know, you sometimes gotta do what you gotta do. It's just how it is. I'm sure there's probably, let's see if Alt-click selects these. No, it doesn't have a clean edge loop. Normally, sometimes you can actually select a loop of edges, and it will just kind of save it. But not this one. It's because it has a lot of, it doesn't exactly cleanly go into a loop. But that's okay, we're just trying to make a pumpkin. So we're just going to select all these. Boo-doo-doo-doo. Just keep on selecting. Hello. I don't want that. How many clicks does it take to change a light bulb?
Okay, so now we have all the outer edges selected. I'm going to hit Control B, and I'm just going to bevel them just a little bit. And maybe we'll add 2 segments in there, and then that will make the edges, look how much nicer those edges are now. Okay, so now we've carved our pumpkin. Feel free to explore on how you want to carve your own pumpkin and make different shapes and find out different ways to carve your pumpkin. If you have any questions about carving specific things to your pumpkin, or let's say you want to carve an image into your pumpkin, go ahead and talk to me. There's some specific things you got to do for that that's a little bit different. Next time we're going to be hopping into shading, lighting, and building a scene. Let's see
the Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
He did the mash.